Siege has proven to be one of the best lines we've had in a while. Kingdom is getting up there, but we just have to wait to see until that's over. But today we'll be looking at one of the lesser figures of the line. A figure that I believe had some potential because it had a pretty decent figure in the past. So today we'll be looking at Siege Chromia. And here we have Siege Chromia in her vehicle mode, and as you could somewhat tell, I hope you can at least, this is a remold of the Power of the Prime's Moonracer figure and the slew of repaints. And I think this does improve on that figure a lot, actually. But this does have the same main problem. But before we get into that, let's talk about the accessories. Now, to the accessories store very nicely right here, just for little engine details. But the gun, it just stores up top, which looks fine, I guess. I mean, this is an alien car. This isn't going to look one-to-one. But about this vehicle mode, I prefer the Thrilling 30s look of this. And in fact, I prefer a lot of the Thrilling 30s of that idea. But I'm not really talking about that figure because I don't have it. Not yet, anyway. But this figure does look decent. Now, the car has very nice molded in details, all that mechanical detail, and not a lot of Siege grime on there. The only thing you could somewhat say is the grime is this right here, but even that is very little. And that's kind of it for the vehicle mode. I mean, it rolls rather well. Of course, you see Chromia's face under there. But yeah, that's about it for the vehicle mode. Let's go into the robot mode. Chromia in her robot mode, and this is a mixed bag for me. I mean, I don't have a Chromia figure already, so I don't really have anything to compare this to. But just looking at the Thrilling 30s figure, that has a backpack too. But that has a different transformation. That turns to a motorcycle-like figure. This turns to a car. So this gets a lot more boxy of a backpack, which this is the shame of using the Power of the Prime's Moonracer and all that mold. The backpack. This is the biggest, bad part of it. And, it does weigh it down. This figure does have some very small feet, and if it is not balanced correctly, it will fall. But there's somewhat of a solution to that. The kibble on the knees, you can angle that down to make it some extra heels, and then it will most likely never fall with that. But the backpack isn't the worst backpack I've ever seen. I've seen far worse on a figure. But yeah, that's about it for that. I mean, this is still a decent figure, if you ask me. But some of my main complaints are, I don't like that head sculpt. I feel like the head sculpt is a bit too boring and lifeless. I mean, I know Hasbro is capable of much better head sculpts. And the fact that this, doesn't really capture the, aggressive, gruffness of Chromia, in my opinion, it's come on. They could have done a lot more with it. And another part that I kind of wished it happened during the transformation, that this comes off way too easily. And it seems to be a problem on all Chromia figures, even the Netflix one. And even Nightbird, which is weird. But yeah, that's about it for Chromia. I mean, the last thing to talk about is her accessories, that being her two little grenades, and her gun can break apart the scope and the pistol. And I actually do really like the pistol a lot. But you can put these all together to make your own configuration of, a weapon. And personally, this is my favorite configuration. As you saw with the Nightbird video I made, you can make a little bow staff with this, but you can also store most of the pieces on Chromia. You could put the grenades on the sides right here, and she has to hold the gun. No matter where you put it, she has to hold the gun. There's nowhere to put it on the back, so you got this gun. And, you know, it's not a bad gun. I mean, with Nightbird, it looked really good. So, yeah. That's about it for Chromia, honestly. But for posability, she can look left and right. She can look up and down very nicely. She can't fully T-pose because of her shoulders, but she has a swivel here, elbow. Her wrist can move in, but that's more because of the transformation. Not really a swivel at the waist, but if you untab this and loosen that, then she has a little bit more of movement on the waist. She can somewhat do the splits, a swivel here, knee, and some excellent pivot, like all Siege figures. But yeah, that's about it for the posability. Now let's go to the final thoughts. Oh hey, didn't see you there. I have a Discord server. You know, if you post a song request and it's copyright free and I use it in a video, you'll get a shout out. So I highly recommend you do that. The link is right up here and in the description. Go check it out. For size comparisons, here is Siege Chromia with Iron Tread, Blitzwing, Sound Barrier, Paleotrex, Dinobot, and Beast Wars Megatron. And for extras, let's throw in Moonracer, who is another good... Oh, the most important, her BFF, Siege Ironhide. And these two actually look very good together, and her just next to the other Siege figures, she just looks very good with them. But let's go into my final verdict. So overall, Siege Chromia is an odd case for me. The fact that this has two versions, and one of those versions I don't have, but I'm still looking for, makes me question if I like this figure or not. I mean, I don't hate it. I've seen far worse, but the fact that this figure is takes on the worst aspects of Moonracer, but yet has some good ones, that being her posability, and the fact that we're even getting a Chromia figure. We barely get any fembots nowadays, and the fact that the War for Cybertron trilogy has given us so many faces, you know, this is great, honestly. And this is the only real Chromia that's on the market right now. I mean, if you want the Thrilling 30s, you gotta go on eBay or some other website. And yeah, this isn't in the store currently, but you can still find it for a decent price online. So, if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. And what did you guys think of this figure? And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.